Welcome back to the channel. Back here in 2d6 Dungeon and Talespire, since I haven't gotten any comments on the last video before recording this one. So we're stuck with Talespire for the entire level 4, and if anybody would like me to switch for level 5, let me know along the way. Before we continue, I want to make a change to the overlay here. There's the new look. While I was making it in Photoshop, I thought it was looking good, but now that I have it on screen and all the overlays and everything put in place, I see some room for improvement. Some of the words are kind of hard to read. Let me know what you think. I'm going to make some improvements still. I didn't touch the other character sheets yet. They're still the regular 2d6 dungeon ones. I did eat my rations already. I had 4, I'm down to 3. So we are done with that. On the steps, we are fully healed. Putting health points here and then on the character as well. So let's see what the first entry room here looks like. What we got is a 6x5. I am using a different tile set this time around for the new floor. This one comes with built-in torches, so we'll see a little different look to it. We'll change the colors a little bit. We are level 4 of the dungeon, the Haunted. I'd make it a little creepier looking. We're gonna start this one off with going clockwise. Let's start. We're at the bottom of the dungeon, the map. Passing through the archway, we wander into a short corridor here. It is 4 squares long. And we come to the next archway, which we pass through. We enter into a space that is 4x3. The room is empty. There are long shadows that are cast across the empty space. You hear a moaning in the distance. There's nothing here, but you feel a chill go down your spine. There is one opening that is blocked by a stone slab. We can give it a try at pushing it over. Stone slabs have no locks, so they cannot be opened with lockpicks. In fact, they don't open like doors at all, but may be precariously balanced. Roll a d6, add your discipline. On a 6 or more, you are able to tip the slab over and clear the way forward. These stones can be destroyed with one hit from a powerful magic scroll that causes 20 damages or more. You cannot wait for patrols to open stone slabs. So first, d6 plus discipline, which is +2, to see if we can push this slab open. No, we are not pushing the slab open. And that is a 1. I switched dice. I don't know what these dice were actually originally for. They have symbols on them for like swords and hearts and helmets and all kinds of stuff. I'm just using them for the numbers. Giving a different dice roll a chance. See if I can get something a little more random than what the other dice were doing. But we start off with a corridor anyway. So probably not that much of an improvement. We will head back to the starting entry room. And going counterclockwise isn't going to work, so we will go straight up the middle. Pass through the archway and enter into the room. What we find is a 6x3 room with 2 portcullis blocked doors. The room has a series of long chains hanging from the ceiling. You have to push through them to leave. A body hangs from one of the chains that I can loot. The roll on a body search table. Well, let's move in here. Let's give it a search. We'll roll on our table here and find out what we got. There is a golden chain around the corpse's neck. It is worth 3d6 plus 10 gold pieces. So that is 11, 13, 23. Gold chain worth 23 gold pieces. So we will put that here into our small items list. Here we have that. And then got to get another roll now. We have an unexpected interruption. As we're looting the body and looking up through the chains, we see higher up there is another body hanging on a hook. If there's some way that we can reach it, we could do another body search. But as we're considering how to reach it, we realize that the room is trapped. Type of trap we are caught by. The air smells toxic. If you are soaked, you become overwhelmed as it clings to your wet clothes. Lose D3 hit points. But if you're not soaked, I would assume you don't lose the hit points because it's not clinging to your... I'm not becoming overwhelmed. That's how I'm reading that. I'm not soaked. I'm not becoming overwhelmed. I don't lose hit points. We do look around to find a lever, and what we find is we find a lever to open the portcullis. As we pull down on it, it breaks splinters in my hand before it can open, and it has become useless. We can either stand around and wait for somebody to open the gate for us from the other side in this toxic smelling room, or we can go a different way. I think I'm gonna go a different way. We have one more way to go. Try all the entry options. Passing through this archway, we come into another short corridor with 2 exits. And we'll continue going straight across the wall here. Pass through this archway and enter into the room. What we find is a large room. There are evenly spaced pillars running along the large marble-lined hall with a round central burner with a metal grill. A figure looms from the dark. And as it enters the light, it's something we faced before, an ashen flex. We shall close for battle and have our first battle on level 4 here. The Ashen Souls are undead touched by Meduva, yet their bodies are preserved and filled with the metamorphic energies as the flux between death and life, the imbalance driving them insane. For maneuvers, he's got blunted blade and extended jaw. For interrupt, tough hide on primary 3, 4s, and 5s. We deal -2 damage. And that would be our lunging thrust, become a d6 plus 3 when attacking him. We'll start combat off with our turn here. We shall swing at the Ashen Flex, and we get a 3-6 with 2 shifts. We cannot turn that into anything. Round 1, Ashen Flex's turn. Swinging at us. He has a 3-6 and 2 shifts. Also cannot do anything, make a maneuver there. Round 2, our turn. Swinging at the Ashen Flex, and we get a 4-6. And only 2 shifts, so we can't do anything with a 4-6. Be nice if it was reversed, but it's not. Ashen's turn for round 2. With a 2 and a 4. 2 shifts, 2 and a 4 cannot be made into a hit. Our round 3 with our turn to go first. And we get a wonderful 4-6. It was last round. 4-6 with 2 shifts cannot be turned into a maneuver. So Ashen's turn for round 3 here. With a 2 and a 1. With 2 shifts, a 2 and a 1 for Ashen can be turned into a 1 and a 2. creating a blunted blade maneuver. And the blunted blade maneuver is 4 minus 1 damage. 3 points of damage there. Brings us down to 41 health out of 40. On to round 4 with our turn to go. Swing. We have an additional shift now, and we have a 4 and a 5. With 3 shifts, we can turn the 4 into a 5 with 1 shift, and then 2 shifts to take the 5 down to a 3. Create a lunging thrust. 9 points of damage on him. That brings him down to 9 health. Ashton's turn for round 4 with a 3 and a 4. 3 shifts, a 3 and a 4 cannot make a hit. Top of round 5 on our turn. We're going to go and swing at the Ashton here. We get a 4-4. We can turn, we can go either way actually. And lunging thrust is going to give us 1 extra point. So let's go to the lunging thrust. Make it a 5 and a 3. And dealing 5 points of damage. Bringing him to 4 health. Ashton's turn for round 5. We have a 2-3 and 4 shifts. We can turn that 2 into a 1 and the 3 into a 2 to be a blunted blade strike, dealing another 3 points of damage. Top of round 6, our turn with 3 extra shifts now, total of 5 for this round. And we have a 6-3, very close there, but we can turn that 3 into a 4 to create a heavy slash. That will do 6 points of damage. And that will make him dead. Now he has no treasure, but he does have 130 experience points. Let's get that on our sheet here, which with the new layout it's hiding behind the card, so we'll put the card away. Brings us up to 1834. So we shall continue to the next archway. Stepping through this archway, we wander into a room is a gloomy space full of long shadows cast by one large central pillar and curving archways. There is a burner that could be used for a fire, and as we look around, we notice that there's an old stone urn that has been pushed over and smashed across the floor. If I use to inspect it, we gotta roll a d6. On a 1 to 4, we have a giant rat, and on a 5 or 6, we get nothing. Eat a giant rat. Rat jumps from the rubble, and we must fight it before further investigating of the pile of rubble. The rats in the crypts level have been affected by a grim soup of magic and toxins that pollute the many dark places. Lusting for fresh meat, they attack when they see you enter. For maneuvers, they have a vicious scratch and a bite, and on interrupt, they have a jump away, which is on secondary 4s for a -1. That would be our heavy slash, but we would only get a d6 plus 1. Top of round 1, it's our turn. We're going to swing at the rat and see what we get. Starting off with a 3 and a 6. Now with 2 shifts, a 3 and a 6, we can't do too much with. But moving on to the rat's turn for round 1 here. Oof. We're starting with a 5 and a 1 for the rat, and only 1 shift. That's going to be a miss. Dodge nimbly out of its way. On to round 2 in our turn. With a 3 and a 6. 3 and a 6. And 2 shifts, we can't do anything with a 3 and a 6. So we go on to the rat's turn. rat has a mishap with the 1-1. A rat dives forward but misses and slides across the space. You slash out and do 3 points of damage to it. Bringing it down to 4 health. Top of round 3 and it's our turn. And we also get a 1-1 mishap. Miss. As a player, we don't have a mishap. We just have a guaranteed miss. We can't shift a 1-1 result in anything. Over to the rat. Let's see what he can do this time. A 5 and a 2. Only one shift, a 5 and a 2 cannot be turned into a maneuver for the rat. Over to round 4 and our turn with an additional shift. 3 shifts total. This time around we have a 4 and a 5. With 3 shifts we can use 1 shift to turn the 4 into a 5. And we can turn the 5 into a 2 using 2 other shifts. Not a 2, a 3, sorry. Too far. Using all 3 shifts there. 1 shift to turn the 4 into a 5 and 2 shifts to turn the 5 into a 3. Dealing 10 points of damage. We have a dead rat. Let's see, we can add 12 XP, bringing us up to 1846. And we can also add a rat tail to our inventory without becoming bloodied. So let's get rid of the rat, update our XP, and look at our, because I think we have a rat tail. Yeah, we already have 2 rat tails. So we can add a 3rd rat tail. And then we can check our rubble pile. Caught up in some old twigs are 2 leather straps. So I think we got rid of all of our leather straps before. We'll add them back into the list. Right. That back away. And we have 1 archway leading out of here. Stepping through this archway, we enter into a small space. Floating next to the wall is a globe of water. It is held by a magical force. You look closer and probe it. You can drink, you can wash, and you can gather water here. Let's see, do I have anything to put water in? I do have 2 glass orbs. I don't know if they're able to hold water. I don't have like a water scanner. Making me eat rations all the time, but there's nothing for water. I'll get a drink and we'll wash some of the grime off our hands. Okay. Is a dead end. See? So we're forced to backtrack a bit. Back to here. Pass through the archway, we enter into a long corridor. And then, passing through that archway, we enter into a room with a statue. There's a blue aura here that fills the room with a mystical light. A statue stands in the center. You can touch the statue. On a 1 or 2, we have a ghost attack us. 3 to 6, we heal 6 hit points, which I've been tracking them here, but not up there. We don't need to heal. We are still slightly over max health, so we're not going to touch it. We have no reason to touch it. We will continue on to the next archway. We'll step through this archway and enter into a large room. There are several coffin-shaped compartments that are set into the walls here. There is banging coming from one of the coffins, and I don't like banging. I think the dead should stay dead. I don't think they should be banging around inside their coffins. So I think I'm going to open it. And so opening it, we find a zombie steps out, and we begin combat. The zombie turns in our direction, the flesh loose on its face, a blank terror suspended in the white globes that are its eyes. It moans and lopes towards me. Top around 1, our turn, we're going to go ahead and attack the zombie. With a 5-2 and 2 shifts, we can turn that 2 into a 3 to make a lunging thrust. And we're going to start off dealing 9 points of damage to the zombie. Bringing it to 3 health right away. The zombie's turn for round 1, and it's going to swing at us. Try for a clawed hand. We got a 3-3. And 1 shift, they can turn the 3 into a 4 to create a clawed hand. We have metal bracers for secondary 3s, so it's going to be just a straight roll. 3 points of damage. That brings us to 38 health. Top of round 2, our turn. Swing back at the zombie. And this time we have a 5-6. And with 2 shifts, we cannot turn a 5-6 into a hit of any sort. The zombie's turn for round 2. A 6 and a 5 for them. And only 1 shift and they cannot do a hit. Round 3, our turn. Here we go. With a 6-6. There we go. Prime attack. We get to select which maneuver we're going to do. And we're going to add our shift onto that. We're going to select the lunging thrust. Of course. So we will do a d6 plus 7. We need all of that. 8 points of damage. And that's enough to lay the zombie to rest. We get 38 experience points, which will bring us to 1884. We get to do a body search on the zombie, and then we can check the crypt that he was in. Put the zombie away though. I already updated the experience. And our body search gives us a gold chain around the corpse's neck. It is worth 3d6 plus 10 gold pieces. 13 gold pieces. Or no, 23 gold pieces. I can math. Gold chain worth 23 gold pieces. Make that 2 of those now. And then we get to check the coffin. There are some uniforms here. Check them and find 2d6 gold pieces and a turnip. Great. 3 gold pieces and a turnip. Let's add a turnip to our inventory and 3 gold pieces. Alright. I think I'm going to stop there for today. Here's our dungeon so far. And we will resume here on our next episode. About a quarter of the way done here. Hope you enjoyed the quest and hope you're liking the minor changes I did to the layout. I have a few more improvements now that I see it. We're making it a little easier to read. And that's it. So thank you for staying until the end of the video and hope you come back again. Have a good night.